Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. We've got two teams here looking to find a way to win. It's the Vikings coming in at 6-2, going up against the Broncos, who come in at 7-1. With that, let's get out to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, with this Week 10 matchup.
Larry, it's the newest facility in the NFL, and it is a beauty as we come to you from U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. Tonight, we polish off Week 10 with a good Monday night matchup between the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings. Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. And a look now at how the Broncos line up defensively.
Von Miller is so good that he doesn't even need a nickname. His ability to bend and dip on the pass rush, unequaled in this league.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the punter, Jeff Locke, to kick it away.
And there was a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
In the backfield is Anderson. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Now a carry, it's C.J. Anderson. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
2nd down following the run. Again, Anderson. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
There's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. The offense on your screen now, and our first look at C.J. Anderson.
And what a look it's going to be. Making a name for himself rapidly, running the football.
Five yards left for the offense. It's second down. They give it to Anderson, and he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. And he goes in motion here in the backfield. From midfield here, Dalton. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got time in the pocket. Now he'll escape to his left. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Linval Joseph is in a hurry to get his name mentioned as one of the top defensive tackles in the game. I think he's accomplishing his goal.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. Looking left side. It's complete. He's got it. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Defense is going to every game talking about winning the early downs to make 3rd down a difficult assignment for an offense. On that play, the defense accomplished its goal.
Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Time running out here on the play clock. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. Going right side here, and that's complete. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So not exactly jubilation over on that visiting sideline, but at least a high 5 or 2 for their kicker as he gets them the first points of the night here on the opening drive.
And 3 points are not to be underestimated. You're on the road, under the lights, national TV audience. You want to come out and look good, and that's a good start right there.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And out now come the Vikings. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he stopped immediately there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
being chased out left. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And cuts out right sideline. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. The offensive line and its ability to open holes in this defensive front, something they were confident they could create in this game. Got the job done there, picked up the first.
And something they wanted to do. Have we ever met offensive linemen that don't want to fire out and hit people? I mean, they love the running game. Guys want to do that. And when you emphasize it, practice it, and work on it, that gives you an opportunity during the game.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, you know, we talk about having wrinkles in a game plan. That was a fold right there. How about that play? Being able to change things up. You think anyone else on the team's going to get the ball, and in that situation, they surprise everyone and give it to their big guy.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Forced out to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
That play almost seemed like a baseball play. See ball, hit ball. But in this case, see guy with ball, tackle guy with ball.
Offense needs something here on 2nd down. It is 2nd and long. Play action now. Bridgewater dancing to his left. And, boy, that one drops incomplete. But if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. What are you going to do with the football?
On play action, it's Bridgewater. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And it's 4th down. Now Cody Parkey out to try the field goal. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will tie us at 3-3. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Nine yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And he'll give it here to his running back. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
And the Broncos go to a nickel set on third down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. Bridgewater from the gun on third down. Flush to his right. Gonna throw right side here, complete. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes, just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
One thing I know, defensive coaches love it when they don't have to invite their players to the party. This strong safety, you never have to ask him twice to help in run support. He's going to arrive and in a bad mood.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here? 3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. From the gun, Bridgewater. And Jeffrey's got it. And it's a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Play clock winding down. They go back to the air here after the INT. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. On second down, Anderson. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
After watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the #1 defense? He gave us no indication, didn't tip his hand at all, so we have to see how this unfolds as this game moves along.
Let's see what the defense dials up here, 3rd and 4. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Dalton now to pass. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's going to be out of bounds at the 39.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
First and 10 for Dalton. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested 1st half. More from Minneapolis after this. Seven yards to go on 2nd down. And the play clock's running down. Play fake. Here's Dalton. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
In the backfield is Anderson. He'll get the football here. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They run again on 1st down. Anderson. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in the old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
2nd down, Dalton. His throw caught right around the 6. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 4th touchdown on the year. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Dagger! Check!
Bridgewater on first down. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to let a fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro Navarro Bowman. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. One receiver left, three to the right. Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? Surveying the field. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And on 2nd and 10 now. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. In motion left here, Sanders. The final act of the first half. Dalton buying time to his left. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. They come up in an offset eye. The third quarter starts with a run from Anderson. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. And this is going to be incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
Dalton sets up play action. He's got time. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
This is taken at the 23. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively, and now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
Being chased out left. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Going to give this time to the tailback. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. They got the ball to the outer third of the field, but they could not seal that edge and lost yardage.
And I love how you brought that up because sealing the edge is often a function of the offensive tackle on the line of scrimmage, oftentimes a tight end, maybe your H-back, someone to set the edge at the line of scrimmage to give them a spot to get to. If you're not able to do that, you're not able to turn the corner.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. So now a 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary, a nickel look.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands so they can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down. Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it.
Let's go. Move to the 8. Move to the 8. Tiger. Tiger. 15. Check 15. Force.
4th down, they're going. Bridgewater looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Daniil Hunter in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Shift together here from the D-line.
380. 380. We got 3, fellas. We got 6.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Second down following the incompletion. On second down, Bridgewater again. He's going to let it go again. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. C.J. Anderson, and all the way home for a Broncos score. C.J. Anderson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And now out comes Minnesota. Now they'll run it on the toss. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
They'll come out in the pistol. Throwing is Bridgewater. Finding time. Forced out to his left. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got time in the pocket. Dancing to his left. And they went big on first down. Proves unfruitful. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. And quickly, they get to the line. On third down, Bridgewater. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as they'll go for it on fourth down. Bridgewater to throw it. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sharif Floyd. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Time running out here on the play clock. Second down, Dalton. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
Completed pass on second down. Now it's third down as the defense looks for the stop. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now fourth down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Oh, it's a wobbler here. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over first and 10. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. They go play action here on first down. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Von Miller in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Hey, watch number 5. Number 5, watch number 5.
Back near the goal line, Bridgewater. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Let's go.
Bridgewater on first down. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Vikings. Kyle Rudolph, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have made this now a one-score game. And it's up through the goalposts. It's 17-10. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And coming out now, the Broncos. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he motions the wide receiver. First and 10 for Dalton. Sanders has it over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They'll get 17 yards there. And it'll be first down, Denver. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Dalton off play action. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play action pass, and completing it.
They come out here in the eye. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And the cutback to the sideline. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They'll run with Marshall. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Now a give. Running right is Anderson. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Hyde, the lone man in the backfield. A give to the fullback on the dive. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
It's amazing how much advice defensive players get on 3rd down. You hear the bench screaming out, watch the draw, watch the screen, watch the pass here. Very rarely do they reference watching the fullback, and he slipped through and picked up a first down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Dalton's going to sneak it. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Time is starting to run out, really becoming a factor. We'll see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back to the offense. And Dalton will just sneak it. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. And he Dalton with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And the Broncos will add on to their lead.
And the sneak works on 2nd and goal. They didn't wait until it was 4th down to try and get him across.
No, and I think if you're the QB, you like these plays, don't you? I mean, you want to hand it off sometimes, but also prove that you can get it in there as well.
Yeah, it makes you really part of the gang, doesn't it? It makes you part of the crew, and it really bonds you with those big offensive linemen because then you get to celebrate with the big fellas.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
The left side caught by Diggs. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. A good start there on this 4th quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap. Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
On 3rd and 1, here's Bridgewater. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They run it again with Anderson. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. 3 yards left to grab here on 3rd down. In the backfield is Anderson. And they'll give it to him here. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Denver. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Steps away. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. On play action, it's Bridgewater. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's Chris Harris with a pick, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. And a long way to go for the offense here on second down. They come out here in the I. Following the penalty, Anderson. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. And a little pride throughout the organization here because they said going into the regular season, 8 wins was the benchmark. They can check that box off the list.
And let's face it, many teams are going to say, well, 8 wins, how much is that? That's a big number for this team, and that was a great goal. And to reach it, that's just going to give them confidence moving forward.
So that'll do it.